Hi everybody, today we're going to get the 3.5 litre Range Rover Classic running. So I've been told this is an immobilizer, and you plug that in. I've tried the fobs, nothing. This is all that she does when you turn the key. The door locks go up and down, but I'm still pretty confident we can get this thing running. So I'll leave it in the ignition position. Not that I think it really does anything. The fuel pump doesn't prime. I don't know if there's petrol in it, but that's not going to be a problem to get it started today. So first, I've never seen, oh, don't know if you can see this. It is 12 volt. So I'll see if I can jump this junction box and feed it with 12 volts, see if that will release the immobilizer. I don't have much faith. For these older immobilizer systems, I've had that much problem with these in the past. So I might not be able to start it off the key. The engine does crank. I've had it cranking before. So I know she's not seized. I've got a spare, well, full ignition system for it off of one of the SD1s in the boot of the other Range Rover, so I'm 100% confident I can get this thing running. Don't know if I'll be able to get it to drive. Depends if I can get the in-tank fuel pump working on it. But for now, let's try getting the fob connected. Okay, so we'll start with trying to energise the fob. I don't really have much faith in this, although it doesn't look like it's got any water ingress and the batteries didn't explode that are in it, so there's a chance it might. But as I say, my experience with these older immobilizer systems, very rarely do these work. I don't know if it's going to explode the resistor in the fob or not. I suppose there's only one way to find out, only because I can't be bothered to go and source a battery this time of the day. So negative this side. I don't really know where it's going to sell like a micro pencil battery like that. I've not come across any of them ever before. So it's got 12 volt feed. Oh, I don't know, I think the LED just turned on then, did it? Yeah. That's interesting. So it's got power. Ooh. I suppose I'll leave it wired up. Yeah, it's definitely doing something. I'm guessing that antenna on the I guess this is the antenna for the receiver, maybe. I'm not sure. That should be disarmed now. Still nothing. So anybody in the comments, anybody out there that knows or is used to a Fox Guard alarm system, is that just for the remote central locking? Because it's not flicking the doors or anything, but it's definitely functional. It hasn't removed the immobilizer, turned the key and still nothing. So next I'm going to put a hot wire to the starter solenoid. So I put a live to the a spade to the ignition spade, and taking it off of the car. So this when I cross the battery, will start crank the engine. Let's just make sure I've got a nice connection on the yep, don't want that to arc on anything. So now in theory cranks. These older coil packs. This is how you energize the older coil packs. So the ignition coil, sorry. So put a wire into the positive. Get it in there somehow. That's what she said. Over to the so on this coil pack, this is the positive side, this is the negative side. So I want to energize the ignition coil. I don't know why I keep calling it a coil pack, but now that was a live feed, and I am aware that that can blow them. Well, I've got a spare. Right, let's try seeing if it works. I've got a spare just in case. So I'll get my hot wire for the starter and put it back onto the positive burner. And she's got spark. Can you see that? It's definitely got spark. It was shocking, mate. So she's got spark at the coil. So now we'll take one of the HT leads off, make sure it's getting spark through the distributor. If it hasn't got spark coming through, it's probably just a dirty rotor arm, or I mean, you can see it hasn't been off for years. But we'll give it a go. You should normally put a spark plug in when you do this, but this will work just fine. I won't get zapped too many times this time. To be fair, as I say, I don't have a spark plug to hand, but it did shock me a couple of times doing that. So, in theory, all that she'll take now, I'll probably better weave it through because it might arc off of everything else. So in theory now, all that we need to do is give it some fuel. It's got spark. That should be it. These flappers can give you a bit of grief along the time as well. I'll just hold the flapper open a little bit. So if you give it half throttle, hold on. Hold the camera. So in theory, as long as we've got spark at the leads, this should be it. Battery's going a little bit flat now. I think we're on to a winner. Find something else to jam against the flapper. Okay. So this should be it. Oh, not enough battery. Sorry about a bit of a jump, just had to get one Range Rover to save another. So carefully reposition the batteries so as it's still got this to the ignition coil, and we'll give her another spin.
Do you want me in dodge?
So we've obviously got it firing. It would run if the fuel pump was engaged, and I don't even know if it's got petrol in it. Has sprung a automatic transmission leak, so probably call it quits on this today. I was going to see if I can get it running and driving, because I just can't see there being anything really much wrong with her. So next, there's obviously something electrically wrong with it. I imagine it's probably got some bad earths or moisture in some of the junctions or something. I'm gonna try. I've got a former Land Rover handbook, you know, like a Haynes manual thing for a Range Rover Classic. I want to remove this. I'll delete the whole immobilizer. But obviously it fires unbelievably on a 21-year-old ignition coil. Ancient spark plugs. I didn't even bother taking a dizzy cap off to check to see if it was so. And really, with what bit of running she's done, even the exhaust doesn't blow. Runs like clockwork. Oh, unbelievable. So the next video I'll do on this, I'll probably take all the front of it off, and I'll bridge whatever it is that's leaking transmission fluid everywhere. And I plan on getting it running and you know, do a drive down the field in it, something like that. So if you want to follow more Range Rover content, and I don't know, to be fair, I buy a lot of cars and some of them are in more sorry states for repair than this, and I can always get them running. This one hasn't so much defeated me as much as what I would do in this situation normally. If it was just a scrapper, I'd cut the fuel feed to the engine, I'd put an inline pump at 14 psi, jerry can on the side, put the battery terminals to the fuel pump. It would push the petrol from the fuel tank into the engine, cross the starter, the ignition coil's all working, she fires up and they drive. And then one jerry can doesn't last very long, but it's long enough to drive onto a trailer. And then, you know, if I wanted to make it a more permanent fixture, I do this a lot of SD1s. If it's a carb SD1, lawnmower inline fuel pumps work. They work about 8 to 9 psi. Just well, to be fair, on the 2.6s, I'll cut the fuel feed to the engine and place it in line with 2 wires. One, you know, I work it out, they're quite nice. I'll show you on one of my SD1s. Just a little flicker switch on the center console, and that primes the fuel pumps, so they run all the time then, because they're pretty expensive, getting harder to find the in-tank fuel pumps for the SD1s. And then obviously the Vitesse, the injection model SD1s, they have got an inline fuel pump underneath halfway along, and it's basically just rudimentarily fashion one of them. If I wanted to, I'd fashion one of them onto this and run it like an SD1's Lucas ignition system, the Lucas fuel pump system. It just, you know, you can stick a battery in the car and put 2 wires to it if you wanted to run it crudely like that, or make a nice job. But with this, as I say, it's going to be fully restored. I just wanted to, out of curiosity, to see if the engine would run. Obviously it runs. Probably need to get some parts for her. My plan is I want to get it so that it would drive, really, so I can drive it into the shed. If not, I can winch it into the shed, but it's a lot of mitre. So yeah, if you want to see any more Will It Run videos, we buy a lot, not just Rover V8s, all sorts of strange engines, modern, old. A lot of people get intimidated by injection engines. I've noticed these, well, to be fair, most Rover V8s, but these earlier Lucas ones, they the ECUs are pretty solid in them. They don't really go wrong. In an SD1 or in the passenger footwell, they can get moisture in, but they're very resilient, so don't be worried about that. Like you've just seen, this is an injection engine. It's got an ECU on it, and doesn't take anything to get them running. So yeah, like, subscribe and follow for more. Thanks.